Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, consider subscribing. In today's video, I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to go over what I would like to see from E3, from the big three, and what we'll probably see from the big three at E3. And if you like these kind of videos, let me know, because in between stuff for Ark and these other games, I kind of want to branch out a little bit and make the video or the channel more broad rather than just an Ark channel. Anyway, so to start off, let's start off with Nintendo Switch, if you will, since E3 seems to be coming back in some form. Since last year and the year before were kind of a cluster, if you know what I mean. So what I want to see from Nintendo this year, and this is just me, I have no like insider information or anything, these are just things I would like to see, which probably won't happen, but it would be awesome if they did. So for Nintendo, what I want to see from Nintendo is a new F-Zero game. It's been way too long since they've made the last one. The last one was on GameCube, and I think it's been, what was it, 17 or 20, almost 20 years, about, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time. To me, F-Zero GX on the GameCube is probably, to me, the best racing game ever made. I'm not big into like the realism of racing, all this stuff, but I'm more of like the arcadey style of racing, which they don't hardly make anymore because everybody wants the simulation. And if you've watched this channel, you know I'm not a big fan of simulation things. I like the crazy over-the-top things. But yeah, F-Zero, I think maybe the Switch can't handle it. Maybe that's why they haven't done it. But it would be perfect for like the Switch Pro or the Switch successor. And they keep talking about how it's not in development yet, but they would love to make it, which kind of sucks because I was hoping it was in development now, but who knows? Maybe they'll show us a logo of F-Zero at this year's E3, and I'll like jump out of my seat going, yes, finally, and then they'll cancel it later. Another thing I would like to see from E3 is a new 3D or 2D Metroid that's in the third person. So either an old school 2D Metroid, like Super Metroid, or a third-person action game Metroid, kind of like an over-the-shoulder, just to give an example, like Vanquish, not necessarily made like Vanquish, but over-the-shoulder like Vanquish, or Gears or something. Samus is a really cool character and has really cool armor. I don't want to be stuck in first-person mode. I know they're making Metroid Prime 4, and I really like Metroid Prime, but I would really like it if they made a third-person over-the-shoulder one, too. That would be awesome. Because, like I said, her armor is so cool looking, why would you want to be stuck in the visor all the time? Or at least give us the option to go back and forth. Kind of like Bethesda games do. The next thing I would like to see is a new 3D Kirby game. We have 10,000, obviously not that many, but we have a lot of 2D Kirby games. In my opinion, they've done way too many. Like, if they make another 2D Kirby game, personally, I just don't care anymore. I'm done with 2D Kirby. They're great games. They're really fun. They're super easy, but they've been done to death. And Kirby never really got his third-person game like Mario, Donkey Kong. Heck, even Mega Man got his own, like with Legends. And no, Kirby Air Ride does not count. That was a racing game. That wasn't a Kirby game. I mean like a actual jump around in a huge, not necessarily open world. They can make it level-based like the Mario games, where it's a bunch of little bite-sized worlds that are all different, and you just go in there in 3D and jump around and float. Man, that would be so fun. Hopefully they make something like that. That would be cool. Another thing I would like to see would be, I can't remember, I'm not really following it, but the Smash Fighters. I don't know if there's 2 left or if we're down to the last one. If it is the last one, I would love to see Master Chief be the last character, because that would totally destroy the internet, and you can finally answer the age-old question, who would win in a fight? Crash Bandicoot, Master Chief, or Mario? Since Crash Bandicoot was kind of the mascot of Sony back in the day, it would be kind of fun to just, you know, I know Crash Bandicoot hasn't been announced either, but it'd be cool if the last 2 fighters were Crash or Spyro and Master Chief. That'd be awesome. Another thing I would love to see, which I hope is in the works, but it's been so long and the last Mega Man game didn't sell very well. I'm guessing Mega Man X9 probably won't be shown, but every year I hope that they show Mega Man X9, because Mega Man X8 didn't really wrap up things. They left it open for another huge, couple of games, if my memory serves me right. And then there's been talks about a 3D Donkey Kong game. That would be awesome, because that's another series that's been done to death in side-scrolling action. And with all these indie games doing all these 2D games that are like, Metroidvania or roguelite and all that crap, I think they've oversaturated the market with 2D games. It'd be nice to do something different, like a third-person game. And I hope it doesn't have some gimmick where like he's on a surfboard the whole time, or you can only control him with some bongo drums. It's like that game was fun, but something more normal with normal controls. Another game I'd like to see from Nintendo show up at E3 is a new custom Robo. Now you guys probably have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, because they've only made in the States, I think there's only 3 of them. There's one back on the old Game Boy. Then there's one on the GameCube, which was awesome, in my opinion. It's kind of like a 3D arena fighter, but with a mech that you completely customize. They were like little toys in the story mode, so they were like little battling action figures that you would pimp out and fight, kind of like Pokemon, but with robots. It was really cool, but it played a lot like Power Stone. If you've ever played Power Stone, I would love them to make a new one. That'd be so cool. And then, of course, a Pokemon update, but then I wrote this list like a week ago, and they've already announced that they're going to have a pre-E3 show, so hopefully they show more information about that new Pokemon game, Arceus, or they show whatever happened to the, Detective Pikachu 2 game. They announced it, and then they went silent. Nobody's talking about it, so I wonder what happened to that game. It probably got canceled or just pushed under the rug for now. And then let's go over to what we'll probably see from Nintendo at E3. I'm going to say more remakes of old games. I don't know how many are left from the Wii U, but they're probably going to make... they're already making Skyward Sword. Yeah, whatever's left, they'll port that over, and here's a new game. And then the rest of the show will probably just be Breath of the Wild 2. That's it. They'll probably just show that, and they'll just focus on that the whole time. I don't know if they'll show any other new games, because they'll probably do a direct in September, where they'll show off the games for the rest of the year. But we'll see. I also would like to see more information on Monster Hunter Stories 2, because when that comes out, I'm going to cover that heavily on my channel, because that game is awesome. The first game was awesome. So anyway, these are the things I wanted to see and what we'll probably see from Nintendo at E3. This video seems to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, so I guess I'll break them up into 3. So keep an eye out for what I would like to see from PlayStation and what I would like to see from Xbox. As always, thanks for watching, and stay frosty. So it looks like I will just combine all these into one video. Just that way it's all in one place. So what I want to see from PlayStation, from E3, even though they're not technically going to be at E3, they'll have some state of play and stuff going on, during that week. Now I was going to make this, I made the Nintendo half about 2 weeks ago, and I'm making the PlayStation 5 half right now, and then the Xbox I'll add to this and upload it today. Anyway, so now that we've seen Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and everybody's complaining about the way she looks, personally I could care less. I was more concerned about the gameplay and stuff like that. It looks like a super fun game. She just had more detail on her face. I don't know what the big deal is. I do understand what the big deal is, but it's not that big of a deal. Get over it. Anyway, so what I want to see from Sony at E3, I would love to see information or anything on the new God of War. That looks awesome. Or should I say sounds awesome, because we haven't seen anything. So I think it's called God of War Ragnarok, I think is the name that's floating around out there with the power of the PS5. I mean, the first one looked amazing on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I can't imagine what they'll do with the new one. And since they had everything built already, they didn't have to start from scratch, so it shouldn't take that long to make it. So we might get that next year, even though COVID kind of screwed everything up. Another thing I'd like to see, I have written down here because I wrote this 2 weeks ago, is Horizon Zero 2 info. Well, we got that, so, and I'm hype as heck. My only complaint about the Horizon 2 game coverage isn't the way she looks, is the fact that you have grapple points still. So it's still kind of like Uncharted, where you can only climb up on certain things that are highlighted. I was hoping they would go for more of a Breath of the Wild thing, where you can climb on anything. But it does look vastly improved, so I'm happy about that. And the grapple hook looks super fun. Let's see. Next thing I would like to see is Sly Cooper. I believe it would be the 5th one if they made another one. I would love to see a new Sly Cooper, but I have a feeling that that franchise is dead because they let someone else make it, which I liked the 4th one, but it didn't have a definitive ending. Like, he's stuck. Spoiler. He's stuck in the past. So we kind of need one more to get it back and wrap it up. I love the way they were going with it, but you can't leave people on the cliffhanger like that. And next, what I would like to see, this isn't technically Sony, and I think I mentioned this in the Nintendo part, is Mega Man X9. Now, I wouldn't mind if it was 2D, but how cool would it be, rather than X9, they just make a new Mega Man franchise in the X universe, like a reboot, if you will. Make it a third-person action game, kind of like the Vanquish, if you've ever heard of that game. Just the speed and the zipping around like in Vanquish, but with Mega Man, so the Mega Man flair to it. That would be so cool. I would prefer that than just a Mega Man X9, another 2D Mega Man game, which, don't get me wrong, I love Mega Man, but we have a bajillion 2D Mega Man games. I would love some more third-person ones. Or heck, even Mega Man Legends 3 would be awesome. Go back and finish that with the power of the next-gen consoles. Another thing I would like to see is PlayStation All-Stars 2. I mean, now is the perfect time to do it because they have all these new established characters like Aloy. They got the side characters from Uncharted, like what's their name? The two gals from Lost Legacy. Their names escape me right now. But anyway, they could have them in it. They could have Drake in it. They could have his daughter in it. It'd be awesome. And then they could have guest characters like Crash and all that stuff. They could have the new Kratos, where he has a huge epic beard. You could have like a fist come out of his beard, kind of like Chuck Norris, and punch people. That'd be kind of funny. They could have his kid. They could have a cool, you know, they have like the ice climbers. They could do that with Kratos and his son, which would be awesome. Like a little tag team thing going on there. I wonder how that would work. Like you can give him commands and stuff. Man, I would love Sakurai to make a PlayStation All-Stars game or a PlayStation Smash Brothers style game, but that man needs to retire. He's given us enough, in my opinion. So that would be cool. And if they do make a PlayStation All-Stars 2, give it way more depth. We don't need some big elaborate story mode. Just give us a bajillion different multiplayer modes and an arcade mode where each character has an ending, like a special ending, like they used to do with old fighting games. I miss that. I hate how we have to have a story mode and then it forces you to play as characters that you suck with, and I hate that. Like in the Mortal Kombat games, the Injustice games. It's like I just want to play as the same character the whole story. I don't want to have to jump around. If they do a story mode, they should at least let you pick who you want to be for the whole story. That would be even cooler, but that would take way too long. And another thing I would like to see, which I'm pretty sure we're not going to get any news for quite a while, is the PlayStation VR 2. Very interested in that. I haven't tried any VR headsets at all, mainly because of all the wires and stuff. But with PSVR 2, I know I hear it still has at least one wire, but all the cumbersomeness of the first one, I was like, yeah, I'll wait till they revise it and make the second one. I was hoping to be wireless, but that would make it very expensive. And then what we'll probably see from Sony at the E3 period, well, we've already seen Horizon. I doubt we'll see God of War, but I would love to see it. So I'm going to say they'll probably show third-party stuff coming exclusively to PlayStation. They'll probably show games that are out now, so they'll highlight Ratchet and Clank. It's out now, buy it now. They'll show Horizon 2 a little bit more. They'll probably have some special stuff for Call of Duty. They'll probably show They'll Live in Crap at a Deathloop some more, which I have no interest in that game, personally. And that's probably about it for Sony. Hopefully they'll have the information on storage expansion and features for the PS5, because right now the lack of storage space, I know you can put a external hard drive to it, but you can't play games off of it. So if you want to play a game, you have to keep transferring back and forth, and you can play it off the external PS4 games anyway, and they just don't run as well, obviously. I'd rather play it on the internal hard drive, or a hard SSD, so to speak. Anyway, so that's the PlayStation part. Stick around if you're interested in the Xbox part. I'm going to put this all in one video. I was going to separate it, but it's easier just to put it all in one video. I doubt you guys would watch 3 different ones. Anyway, on to the Xbox part. And now for the Xbox Series, or whatever the heck it's called now. What I would like to see from Xbox at E3, since they're actually going to be at E3, in fact, they probably have a ton of crap to show, and I'm more excited about what they're potentially going to show versus the other two, because Nintendo, they were like, how do I put this? I feel like their hype has died down a little bit, especially for me. They're not the new hot system, the new everything's going to come to Switch, we got to buy it on Switch. After seeing what these new systems can do, the Switch desperately needs an update as far as hardware is concerned, in my opinion anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool being able to play anywhere you want, but I don't go much these days, so I'm more of a stay-at-home person, so obviously I'm more excited to see what the power the Xbox and the PS5 can do. Anyway, so what I want to see from Xbox is more Halo news. I want to see how they're coming along with it. The story mode, they'll probably just show off multiplayer, but I want to see the story mode to see if it's improved. Personally, I thought what they showed was fine, but everybody else, it's supposed to be their flagship franchise, but everybody else is crapping all over it. I'm glad it got delayed, because who knows, it probably would have ran like crap, and we would have had another Crackdown, State of Decay, all those other games that came out that were crap during the Xbox One generation. Man, that was a bad generation for them. So I'm excited for Halo. I was a big Halo fan. Hopefully they got it right this time. I know we've had a bunch of Gears, but I would like to see a new Gears franchise, maybe with a whole new cast or something. We don't need the same characters. There's tons of different wars that were fought in that game. I don't want a prequel. No, I want something way in the future. That'd be really cool, or something on a different planet even. Another thing I'd like to see is any information about the new Fable that's in the works. What type of gameplay is it going to have? Is it going to be like Skyrim? Is it going to be like old Fable? Is it going to be something new? Is it going to be another first-person game? Oh, I swear if they make it first-person, we have enough first-person games. If you're going to make it first-person, give us the option to go third-person too. Please. And another thing I would like to see, the thing I want to see the most, actually, from Xbox, is any information on Arc 2. Because as of right now, it's an Xbox Series X exclusive, but I think it's going to be a launch exclusive. So basically, it'll probably go in early access on PC, and then it'll launch in the game preview on Xbox, and then a year or two later, once it's actually ready for release, it'll come to PlayStation. That's my guess. Unless Microsoft bought it outright. I don't think they did, but Heck, they could have. I kind of hope they do, because then they'll have a bigger budget to make the game, and hopefully everything that gets released with it won't be broken. I have a feeling that when Arc 2 launches, it's going to be a mess. Like, they're going to release it way too early to try to cash in, and it's going to be broken all the way until, well, the next one comes out. Just like every other one of their games. But because of the channel, you know, it's mostly an Arc channel, I'm most hyped about Arc 2 and what could potentially be. Hopefully they fix everything and address everything right off the get-go. Oh, man. Arc 2. The next thing I would like to see, which I think is launching, what is it? It's the first? Yeah, it's launching this month, supposedly, is the new Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. Everybody thinks it's an expansion, but it's basically, well, it kind of is, but it's basically a new game under the Phantasy Star Online 2 umbrella, because that name has so much recognition in Japan, and they want to put the game in the same launcher so that people just can go right to it. That's why it's under the branding of it. They don't want to make a whole new game because they're afraid of alienating all the money they make from the other game. If you can just go back and forth within the same launcher, then they'll keep that revenue stream, because that game makes them a ton of money in Japan. And it finally came out here. What was it, like last year? I put about 400 hours into it on the Xbox because I've been waiting to play that forever. So hopefully they show some information on that when it's coming out. And I know it's been in what do you call that? A closed beta for a while. Maybe, I think it ended. So hopefully they got all the information they need and they can launch it without too many problems on console. Another thing I like to see is a controversial game, which everybody thinks we're going to see, is Starfield. I don't really care if it comes to PlayStation or not. I mean, PlayStation has so many other games. I mean, who cares? But I'm curious to see what it is. Most Bethesda games, when they launch, are crap until they fix it. And it's usually when the modders come in is what makes Bethesda games so amazing. Like Skyrim. Base Skyrim is awesome, don't get me wrong. But what makes it even more awesome, and the reason why people still play it to this day, is because of all the cool mods you can use with it. So hopefully, in that same vein, we see a new Elder Scrolls. Like a new Elder Scrolls 6, or like, heck, I would like one in the future, because it always takes place back in like medieval Middle Earth time. It'd be cool to see one like way in the future. I'm guessing that's what Starfield is. But it'd be cool to see something in the future of Elder Scrolls where there's like flying cars or like magic mixed with technology. That'll never happen, but that would be really cool. And then again, I would love to see Mega Man X 9 or any Mega Man game franchise for that matter. Microsoft has enough money. That'd be cool if they paid for an exclusive something from Mega Man. That'd be awesome. And then on to what we'll probably see from Microsoft. Probably see Halo news. It'll probably mostly be about Halo. Probably be random indie games that are coming to the platform, and Game Pass. It'll probably be about new studio acquisitions. I'm guessing they're going to buy a couple more. And then probably 99% of the rest of it's going to be all about Bethesda games and games coming exclusively to Game Pass and all this stuff. Hopefully we'll see, like I said, Fable or something, but my guess is that E3 is going to be very lackluster because COVID screwed so much crap up that I think they're just grasping at straws now. So don't get too hyped. I'm a little hyped for certain games, but I have a feeling that none of these games that I want to see, except for maybe Halo and God of War, are actually going to be there. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are your wanted to sees, if that makes sense? What do you want to see? There we go. Put it that way. What do you want to see at E3 from the big three? And what do you think we'll probably see? Thanks for watching, and stay frosty.